Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to take a look at our Urban Worm Bag 2.0 that has our European night crawlers in it. Now we're going to add about 6 pounds, 11 ounces of food, and it's been 31 days since my last update. I'm getting past that 30-day mark. I really was hoping to get it at least in every once a month to update this system and also get more food in the system. So everything should be gone from the last feeding, and we're going to go ahead and add another large feeding this time. And we're going to probably add some corn husks that I just happen to have in my basement here from shucking some corn and get this system going. So with that, we're going to skip right over everything and just go right into checking the system and see how it's doing. All right, here's our Urban Worm Bag. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. Take a look and see how it's going here. So first off, we do have a little bit of moisture on the top here. Not a whole lot. Well, actually more than not, I guess. And we do have some mites down here in this corner. I'm not sure if you can see. I'm going to zoom out here just a little bit. But right down here in this corner, we do have some mites along this bag. So I can't really bring them into focus because it's attached. But maybe right there you can see them a little bit. Actually, you know what? I could probably zoom in on that. Let's just see. Let's see if it'll focus. There you go. You can see there's some mites running around on there. So there's some mites in the system. That's not a big deal. I've never found mites to be that much of an issue. But they are on this system, which means that also when you're holding stuff and everything, they do climb up on you. So, and they're all around here. That's a sign that there's a lot of moisture in here. We can see that this has fallen over. This is our little trap that we've got in here for fruit flies. I didn't see any fruit flies come out of the system. So, and this does look pretty clean. It's hard to tell probably from the reflection, but it looks pretty clean. I'm not too worried about it. So with that, let me grab my glove. And I know that some people have asked questions about why I wear a glove. It's to protect me, but also the worms. Like I have oils all over my hands. I don't want to get them on the worms or soaps and things like that. And I don't like getting all this stuff underneath my fingernails. So that's why I wear these gloves. And I try not to use disposable gloves either. So with that, let's go ahead and start digging this up. It looks like there's a lot more cardboard, or the cardboard's not as composted on top as it has been in the past. I can't remember if we added a little bit extra or not. But we're going to go ahead and move this over. You can already see some nice good sized worms in here. And in fact, let's just bring you down just a little bit more. There we go. There's some worms in here already. They're working at this system. I think they probably like that extra moisture that's in here. We've got our, oh, this is that mesh bag. And look at that. This is cheesecloth. And it's already falling apart. It's going to take some time for them to work through this. But this is, that had a lime in it actually. And here we go. Here's more of the bag right here. But you can see they're really starting to work on it. It's still white, but it's starting to get some holes in it as it thins out and they work their way through this material. This is a harder material than, say, a lot of other stuff in here probably. It's more of a carbon material, or is a carbon material, instead of a nitrogen-based or green material. So look at that. We've got our worms in here. They look pretty healthy. I'm trying to see the screen here as I look up, but give me a second. I'm going to rotate the screen down a little bit so I can see it when I look up here to make sure everything's in view. There we go. Going to go ahead and dig around in here a little bit. Let's just see. So we've got some worms in here. They look pretty healthy. Still got some avocado peels, which these take a long time to break down. Not seeing any massive groupings of worms yet. But you can see this material looks really good. They are working through that cardboard a little bit more slowly. Bunch of worms right there. All right, and yeah, you can see they're starting to get a buildup of cardboard in this system. It feels like they're really slowing down on the cardboard. They're going very fast through the food, but the cardboard is taking a while to break down. There's a lot of that left. It looks like in the lower layers. We have a pit right here. Oh, that's going to break apart in my hands. This is an avocado pit. They usually are pretty hard. I haven't seen any grow recently. Sometimes you'll see them grow in here, but that hasn't happened. We do have a piece of corn on the cob right here. These take a long time to break down. And actually, there's a worm poking its way out of there. So they're working on that. All right, let's go ahead and check out the other side here, see how that side's doing. Again, lots of cardboard on the top here, which is okay, but we want to make sure that also gets broken down before we gets down to the lower layers here. So, all right, first off, I see this piece right here. It looks like this is, not sure what this was. It was a peel of some sort, but it looks like it's having a little trouble breaking down a little bit. Might be a little bit plasticky, or kind of a tough layer on that doesn't really break down. Some coffee grounds there. Oh, I can tell there's got a corn on the cob right here. Now remember, if this was your system at home, you really wouldn't be digging it up. You would just be adding to the top. I do this for the reasons of, let me show you what's happening in the system. So here we go. Here's a bunch of worms in this avocado pit or avocado shell that has some of the meat left in there. Let's just open that up here. You can see they're gonna go through all of that, but you can see that they're really starting to work their way in here. They're looking for food, that means to me, which is a good sign for adding more food. I'm not seeing much of the nitrogen food materials left in here. I am seeing, except for maybe some coffee grounds, but other than that, we've got that cardboard really. You can see this material just looks fantastic. I mean, they're really starting to break it down. There's a lot more worms on this side, it seems like, than that side. You can see them kind of squirming around in here as I stop and just look. They're really moving around. They're active. They're searching things out. Let's just go ahead and dig in the center section here real quick. Again, a nice big chunk of worms in here as well, as you can see in this center section. They're really moving their way around. They're looking for food. I mean, that's what they're doing right now. These worms seem to be going through food a lot faster than cardboard, which is fine. Oh, here we go. Here's a chunk of coffee grounds right here that are kind of put together. Those are gonna go quickly now that they're apart. Got another avocado shell in here. This one again has a little bit of the avocado meat left in there, I guess we could say. So there's a little bit of that left in there. So there's some worms in there, but they're moving through the food. All the food in here really is gone. All the main food, like the softer stuff, like lettuce, bananas, things like that. I didn't see any of that. You'll always find some of those harder foods that take a longer time to break down. So with that, we're going to go ahead and spread this back out, and we're going to get ready for the feeding. Now, I'm not sure how the moisture is in here. I mean, there's moisture on the lid, but some of this felt a little dry. So I'm going to go ahead and spray this down just a little bit, just to add a little bit. Well, actually, you know what? I think we're going to skip that because I've got a lot of moisture coming in with the cardboard. I'm afraid there being too much also, and there is the mites in here, which typically like moist environments. So maybe we need to let it dry out a little bit. I mean, this is all moist. I don't know. I could go back and forth. I could probably add a little bit of moisture, but I think I'm going to skip it simply because of the mite count in here. As I'm looking around, I just see a lot of mites around these lips and everything, and on the lid. And maybe it'd be better to kind of have it dry out a little bit rather than adding more moisture. So with that, let's go ahead and bring over our food, which is going to add moisture too. And we've got our first thing here. I'm going to smash it here to break it up. And this is all frozen. There's our first thing of food. All right, let's see what we've got in here. This looks like a good variety. We had an entire package of raspberries that were moldy. We didn't realize that until we got them home. We got some coffee grounds. We've got more raspberries. We got some lettuce here. These are some lettuce stalks that went bad. Were probably on the outside or didn't look very good. Got some peppers with the seeds, and those will grow up to have some pepper plants in here, but that's fine. Just plow them back in. Banana peels, we usually have a lot of those. We've got some of our, this is lettuce pieces, the bottom part of it. I know some people actually will regrow lettuce. I don't do that because I just don't take the time to. I figure I'd rather buy, and I buy them in big packs of 6 because we tend to go through a lot of lettuce. But there we go. We got lots of raspberries in this one. As I said, we had an entire container of raspberries. We brought it home, and the next day we opened them up, and they were, you can't tell in here really, but there was some green mold all over these when we opened them up, unfortunately. So they went bad very, very quickly. So let me just break these up a little bit too. Actually, they explode apart once they're frozen. They should be good food for the worms. We've got some asparagus ends in here. We go through a lot of asparagus in the house. Banana peels. Just breaking this up some more. And yeah, it looks like that might be pretty much it for this one. There's a lot of, this one had some lighter stuff in it with the lettuce and everything. But got our bananas in here too. We're just going to throw that out. We're going to keep that in the center. We're going to grab the next one. As I said, we're adding 6 pounds, 11 ounces of food. Just smashing that one up a little bit more too. All right, that one kind of came out all in one big frozen chunk. There we go. Now, this one has banana peels. Oh, this one's got grapes in it. Okay. We've got our grape stems here. These take a while to break down, and the grapes do too, but they do break down in here. So I've been continuing to throw them in. They might come out the bottom. If they do, I throw them right back in the top, let them keep breaking down in the system. No big deal. All right, we've got just realized I might have you zoomed in a little bit too far there to be able to see. There you go. You can see a little better. All right, got apple core, more pepper plants. Got some broccoli stems in here. We got another one right here. If you can't tell, we eat pretty healthy. We eat a lot of fruits and veggies, especially on the fruit side. The kids go through a lot. We go through a lot of bananas. So we got some coffee grounds right here. There were some tea grounds, I'm sure, somewhere in here. And actually, it looks like the tea grounds are in this banana right here. So the tea grounds kind of found their way into there. All right, another pepper plant. This one was a little bit easier to break apart. And we got some more coffee grounds, and that's it. So nice big feedings here. And we're going to continue with these feedings. I'm always just going to, no matter what's going on in here, unless it's up to the surface, we're getting really high here. I am going to have to harvest from the bottom. And if you saw the video with the bokashi, I did have an auger now, so I can actually put some of this sort of underground instead of having it so close to the surface where it was washing away, because it was not helping my yard. So I am going to harvest this at some point, and it's going to go right into my yard. So with that, let me grab my mask here. I'm putting my mask on, and we're going to add some crushed crab and eggshell. So I've got an N95 mask on to protect my lungs. And we're going to go ahead and open this up here. This is just a container of crushed crab and eggshell. And we're going to sprinkle this very, very generously over the top here. This is the grit for the worms. For those that haven't watched any of my prior videos, worms have gizzards, and this grit helps them break stuff down. They need that. So there we go. And now we have our cardboard. So again, I'm still covering this stuff up with cardboard. This cardboard is a little bit, you can see there's some water in there. Quite a bit of water. Some of the cardboard's a little bit dry. It didn't get quite as mixed up as it normally does. There we go. We're going to add this entire container, though, of cardboard. Just one handful at a time until we can get it to shake it out. There we go. I'm just going to scrape this barrel, get all the wet cardboard out of here. This is what I use to soak all the cardboard. All right, let's spread this out nice and thick on this stuff over here. This allows the worms to get up into these areas where this is really getting high. I really need to harvest this. And maybe I will this week. Maybe I'll try to get to it this weekend. Or this week, I'll try to get one more, get a harvest going before we do our next feeding. So with that, got to make sure you put your trap back in for your fruit flies in case there's any in here. And actually, you know what? There's something I forgot. I could throw these on top. But I have these husks. I've been sitting in my basement for a while. They actually have some mold on them. Oh, they got fruit flies on them. Maybe I won't put them in here. You know what? I think I'm going to throw them back over here. We're going to leave those out. We'll throw that in another system. I don't really want to introduce a whole bunch of fruit flies to the system right now. Hopefully, there's a couple of them already in here maybe. Yep, looks like there's a couple of them that maybe already got in here. I should have checked them before I opened it up in here. I didn't think about that maybe some fruit flies got in there. But, all right, it looks like it's okay. Hopefully, if they do reproduce, they'll go into the trap over here. But that's it for this one. I'll have to add that to another system later. I have to put that in with the trap to get rid of all those fruit flies first. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. And thank you again.